Hey, what's going on, film fans? Welcome back to our channel. We are the usual skeptics back again with another video. After a long hiatus, we are finally back. It's been a long time. What better way to come back than to talk some breaking news, some huge news within the industry. Wes, before we get into all that, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing well, my friend. Doing good. Glad to be back. I know that we both had a lot of stuff going on, family stuff and personal stuff. So sorry we've been gone, but we are so glad to be back. We are ready to talk to you guys about the news that just broke and all this other good stuff and our thoughts on it. And Gabe, let's go ahead and get into it, man.
All right, man. So yeah, just to preface everything here, Wes and and I mean, he can speak for himself, but we are huge Warner Brothers fans. I mean, just huge. The acquisition, no one has talked about it more than me, at least in our circles, just our
Yeah.
close friends and things. I have loved this move. Now, I was a little dubious at first. Was that David Zaslav coming in from Discovery, Discovery acquiring Warner Brothers earlier this year, and ever since then,
Dropping bombs.
dropping bombs, firing people, canceling projects. Dude, he's cutting the wings off of bats. He's
He's doing it,
he's
bro.
he's griping at executives. It's amazing, and I love it. And I love watching people complain about it because it's just funny that people don't have a backbone anymore. It's just soft skin. Um, but anyway, excuse me. But one of the big questions, and we'll go on about Warner Brothers. We can talk about that all day. But one of the biggest news, or the biggest questions, I should say, is what is happening with DC as far as what's happening with their movies, what's happening with their TV show. We had that Greg Berlanti Green Lantern show that was announced a long time ago. We had a lot of things that were announced and not really clear paths. So the question has been who's going to step in and take this role. Well, for a while, I believe it was Dan Lin, who was in talks and last minute kind of backed out. David Zaslav, and rightfully so, was in a rush to get that out because he's like, why are we not making Superman movies? Why are we not focused more on Wonder Woman? Even though Wonder Woman 84 sucked. Why have Man of Steel? Why did Man of Steel come out in 2013 freaking and we have not had a freaking Superman movie, a solo Superman movie ever since then? It's been 9 years.
Mhm,
Why? Because a lack of direction, a lack of a person in charge to steer
mhm.
the ship in the right direction. Wes, the gods have spoken, and angels hear our cry and have rise to the occasion. Anyhow, let's not waste any more time. So the news broke from the Hollywood Reporter that yes, James Gunn and executive Peter Safran, if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I apologize, but to me it's Safran until I hear it said otherwise, to lead film, TV, and animation division. This is huge news. I cannot understate how, or overstate, I should say, how important and crazy it just not out of nowhere, because this is something that we've been expecting them to announce is who's going to be the head of what they're now calling DC Studios. James freaking Gunn, dude. Steven, sorry, Peter Safran. About said Stephen Paffrin. Peter Safran to be basically the Kevin Feige of Marvel Studios.
Mhm.
But for DC and Warner Brothers, this is incredible. Let's go ahead and break into this here. I love how this is kind of taking a little bit of the Black Adam mantra here. The hierarchy of the power of the DC universe is really changing. Really is changing. In a stunning turn of events, filmmaker James Gunn and producer Peter Safran have been tapped to lead DC's film, TV, and animation efforts as co-chairs and co-CEOs of what they're now calling DC Studios. Ooh, original. A newly formed division at Warner Brothers that will replace DC Films. The unprecedented move, yet certainly unprecedented, in which a top director will assume a top executive post, marks the end of a months-long search by Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav to replace DC film boss Walter Hamada, who departed the studio last week. That search had all of Hollywood guessing and playing executive bingo for who would land one of the most coveted and challenging jobs in town. So, Wes, this is
Facts.
this is huge.
It's big.
This is massive news. They finally have, and look, James Gunn, he wouldn't be my first pick, and it would be down to like three or four people. that I've kind of paid attention to as far as producer wise. And you know, if they went with Dan Lin, I'd have been like, hey, you know what? Not my pick. You know, he's a talented, person in the business. He's had many, 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 many years of experience under his belt. Let's see what Dan Lin can do. Well, he backed out. So it's
Yeah,
like,
but like the thing
so where's
is
he going?
with with James Gunn and Peter Safran,
Together.
you've together. I think that was and we'll talk about that here in a minute with the rest of this article. But
Right.
um, great move, putting two people that have two very good set of skills to do different things. Very very smart,
To
very very
collaborate with each
smart on
other.
their yeah to
Yeah.
collaborate with each other.
Right.
Um, I feel like I mean I felt like this was a great pick for them. I mean James Gunn's done like really good movies, man, and series. I mean, you look at Peacemaker, you look at the Guardians of the Galaxy,
Slither.
look at these films, Slither. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, like these films are great, and you know, like if he would have said, because we talked about this before, if just me and you did that, if he would have said just you know James Gunn, I probably would have been a little bit skeptical, or not skeptical, but I mean,
I see what you
usual
did there.
skeptics.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
I would have been a little bit
It would have been a
more.
head scratcher.
It would have been a head
Would have
scratcher,
been a head
yeah,
scratcher.
for sure. Because
Right.
I would have been like, man, like you're taking this dude, you're putting so much pressure on him, and now you're going to tell him, hey, you've got to run this studio,
Not
and
only
it's
that,
like,
but what does he know about running a studio? Making films is
right,
one thing. That's a whole talent in and of itself. How do
right,
you run a studio? So, I mean, you bring up a good point there. Like,
right.
you got one doing one thing and one the other, and then they're both collaborating as one. I think that's a baller move.
That is a
Baller
baller
move.
move. And the thing is, like I think that it's gonna work.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
hoping, like fingers crossed that this is the
Yes.
turnaround that
Yeah.
this is the turnaround that DC needs in order to put out those Superman movies that I grew up watching that were like every other year you got a new
Right.
Christopher Reeves Superman, and you got, like these Batman film, which, I know that he's not going to do those, and we'll talk about that because that's in the thing too. But like, you've got three main people that you need to be circling these things around, like you said, it was, David Zaslav, I think, that said, hey, you've got three of the main people, like main
In the
superheroes
world.
in the world,
Yeah.
and you're not focusing on them.
Yep.
Like you said, it's been since 2013 since we've had a single
It's
Superman movie,
crazy.
an individual Superman movie. We've got the first Wonder Woman, which was great. We won't talk about the second. You've got, you know, the Batman series that is doing pretty well, man. But like, let's let's focus on these,
Right.
because this is what people are going to want to see, which is true. I'm a fan. You're a fan. I want to see another Superman movie. I don't care if it's Henry Cavill or not. It
Right.
doesn't
I
matter
mean,
to me.
same here. I'm just glad
It
he's
doesn't
back.
matter.
That
I'm
to
glad
me,
he's
that's
back
just
too.
that's icing on the cake. And again,
But
that's a whole yeah.
I, I don't care. Like,
Right.
that doesn't matter to me. What
Right.
matters to me is that you're doing these things in order to move forward in the DC, and for Warner Brothers in itself, like moving it forward to be like, okay, because we all know that and I'm not going to harp on this, but like we all know that Marvel is the king of superhero stuff, but like I don't care.
Right.
Give me something I want to watch, and I'm going to watch it. That, like, DC, you don't have to make an end game. You don't have to make a whatever. What you do have to do is give me something that's got a plot, a beginning, middle, and an end.
Right.
That's all I want. And something that's going to draw my attention and be like, okay, this is super cool. Like, I really like that. I really enjoyed that movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of going in, because we as fans and the everyday moviegoer, anytime somebody puts out a superhero movie, they're always going to compare it to Marvel, and that is
Always.
shame on them. Shame on them. you need to go into a movie and you need to have no expectations and
Yeah.
go in saying, "Hey, let's watch this movie for what it is and figure out if
Judge
you
it by
like
its
it
own
or not."
merits. Yeah.
Judge it by its own merits because
Yeah.
not everything's going to be an Endgame. Not everything's going to be an Infinity War. It's not going to happen, people. So, let's go. Let's give James Gunn and Peter Safran the chance to like give us some really good stuff. I mean, like Peacemaker was amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
It was great. You know what I'm saying? But let's put that effort into making these new character. I mean, Green Lantern. Let's do some more DC characters that nobody's really thought of doing.
Hey,
You
what better
know,
person than James Gunn? He was able to bring
right?
Guardians of the Galaxy characters who, yeah, comic readers like myself, yourself, some others, yeah, know a little bit about Guardians. Sure. Well, I've seen Drax. He popped up in Infinity War, looked completely different than he does in the movie. Yeah,
Hmm.
Gamora. Nebula. Yeah, you got Groot, Rocket Raccoon, things like that, and Star Lord. But you, James Gunn was able to bring those obscure, off the wall, dude. He was able to bring Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man, bro. That's
Polka Dot
exactly what I was
Man
going to say. Who is
was dope.
awesome in that? It was dope.
Awesome.
Yes, yes.
Amazing.
Suicide Squad, that
David
was awesome.
Dismouchin and you bring up a good point that I didn't really think of until just now because I was just so wrapped up in the news of itself is James Gunn. Yeah, so he kind of has the more creative side, while Peter Safran has the creative, or sorry, the producing, logistical business side of things. And to me, I think I think I think everybody was too focused on who is this one person that Zaslav is going to pick, who is this one person that is going to steer the ship. People will say tomorrow, "Oh yeah, I knew Zaslav was going to pick two people. Yeah, I knew he was going to pair it up." Bullshit. Ain't no
Yeah,
way.
bullshit. No,
Nobody was thinking,
no.
"Oh, Zaslav is like, we already got James Gunn in our pocket. We already got him making great content, which people love, and is making us money." Um, and all that kind of stuff. And Peter Safran, who is a great producer,
Hmm.
behind Conjuring, Aquaman, Shazam, what have you. I want to pair these two together and to report directly to Zaslav. By the way, we'll get more of that in this
Yeah.
article. But you touched on something that I think I kind of forgot about is you got James Gunn who can bring those obscure characters, DC characters, to fruition, can bring them to life. Other characters, not only your Superman, not only your Wonder Woman, not only your Batman, which I think Matt Reeves is going to take over Batman himself, and
Hmm.
so that's kind of speculation right now. But I think and yeah, Green Lantern and all that kind of stuff. I think that James Gunn is the one of the most perfect people to think off the wall and bring those obscure characters like the Rat Catcher or Polka Dot Man or whatever, what have you. Because on paper, you'd be like, Polka Dot Man, seriously, this is your pitch, Polka Dot Man.
Right.
But you got
And then you
James
go
Gunn to
watch
come in,
Suicide Squad. You
and
get
you're like,
see Suicide Squad, and you're like,
yeah,
"Holy, that is awesome."
and you're like,
You
Polka
know what
Dot
I
Man
mean?
was awesome. So yeah, I mean, no, and it goes into this article. Let's go ahead and finish this up here. In
Hmm.
recent weeks, Gunn and Safran were spotted on the Warner Brothers lot, meeting with Warner's film co-chair Michael DeLuca about future projects. And according to sources, the initial overture, to Safran and Gunn came from DeLuca over the summer, even as the studio was in shaky talks with producer Dan Lin to take the job. Gunn will focus on the creative side of things, while Safran will focus on the business and production side.
Baller move.
Baller move. Both are expected to continue to direct and produce projects, respectively. They will report directly, and I think this is important too, directly to Zaslav and work closely with Warner's film bosses DeLuca and Pamela Abdy. Sources say the deal runs 4 years and Gunn will be exclusive to DC. The goal is for them not just to be producers, but to truly function as executives, even as Gunn will occasionally hone a movie. So it tells us right there that James Gunn is going to be directing, here and
Hmm.
there occasionally. He might come in and direct a couple episodes of Peacemaker season 2. He might come in there and direct a Polka Dot Man spinoff, or, I'm just speaking off the wall here, and that's fine. And here's something in this article that we just read that a lot of people's forgetting about. And I hate we're comparing it to Kevin Feige, but there is only really one Kevin Feige.
Hmm.
However, there's a key difference. Let me tell you why. Up until the a douche clown, what's his name? Is it Bob Chapek, the CEO of
Mhm.
Disney? Um, he made this idiotic decision to put someone, a business person who ran, pushed papers at finance, a banker or
Mhm.
whatever, over Kevin Feige. Why? Kevin Feige was able to do this all by himself.
Mhm.
Why, after almost 2 decades, would you go, yeah, you've been doing a great job. Let me put someone over you. Oh, you want to make She-Hulk 9 episodes? We want it in 8 episodes or 3 or 4 or whatever. To me, Kevin Feige in a role, I'm just speaking on my butt, but to have Kevin Feige in a role that long, and for them to be like, oh, we're gonna put this person over top of you. They're telling you what to do now. You want to put Black Widow exclusively in movie theaters? No, we want to drop it on Disney Plus. That wasn't Kevin Feige's move. I'll tell you that right now,
Oh,
because
yeah,
there
geez,
were
wasn't
reports of Kevin Feige very aggravated. That was out of
Mhm.
his control, and I think he was most certainly on Scarlett Johansson's side, and she was rightfully so to sue. And
Well,
you know what Bob Chapek
maybe
said?
it was that business person who made that last episode of She-Hulk.
My God, make the last half of the season. Um, dude, Man Bull was awesome. Anyhow, the key difference, and I said I'd say this to me, Zaslav knows exactly what he's saying. He knows exactly what he's doing. I'm not
Yeah.
saying Zaslav is going to do everything that I like, but I'm loving, not liking, I'm loving every move that he's made, like a major move that he's made for Warner Brothers and DC since he's took office. I really do. I
Yeah.
think every major move he's made, hey, he thinks Batgirl shit. Cut the wings off that bat. Cut it. I don't want it.
Bro,
It's not
see ya.
good. I don't want it. I don't care. Why are they
Hey,
still making?
I don't know if we ever gonna get a Flash movie. I'm just gonna let you know that now. I don't
That's a
know.
whole sidebar in and of itself.
we
But
can we
we've
need to
heard
cut that
from
though.
we did. Hey, the difference between Flash and Batgirl is people say the Flash is actually quite good. The Flash is great. The money's,
You know
you
they're
know,
running reshoots and stuff right now, right? They're
they
running
did they
reshoots,
did they did finally
guaranteed,
they did finally
guaranteed.
hit a edit
Oh,
lock. So
newsflash, he's dying.
Let me know.
oh, Ezra Miller
That's
will not be back.
oh,
That's a
not
whole
at all.
side. Yeah, that's a whole thing of itself. But no, I really do. I love every move Zaslav has made. Every major move he's made, I've loved. I've completely loved it. And if he needs to cut Batgirl because he don't think it's going to be good, cut the wings off the bitch. Let it fly. Let it fly straight
I mean,
down.
for real.
I
Like
mean, I'm
seriously,
not.
man.
I mean, I'm just being straight up and seeing all these people say, and I feel bad for the filmmakers. I do. I feel bad for Leslie Grace. I feel bad. I think that was her name. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I feel bad for those people who spent years of their life making this movie and it not coming out. I do.
Yeah,
I hate that. It sucks. But if they think it
but like I
sucks,
said before, though, but that's what I'm saying though. Gabe. Like if I don't want to see shit movies anymore. I
right?
don't. Like I don't want
And
to
that's what
see.
Zaslav basically said. He said, I
Yeah.
don't, this is not the good for the company in the long run. And to me, Zaslav is one of those leaders that, you know what? If you're making some right decisions, and I think he is, a lot of people's not going to like him. And I think that's fine. I'm Zaslav. I'm really loving Zaslav right now.
Mhm.
His you know his decisions have been coming through and swift and cutting sharper than any two-edged sword. It's just like the Bible. It's just coming in, swooping things that shouldn't be there. He's cutting fat where it needs to be. Yeah, Warner Brothers took a hit and a couple $1 billion for sure, but you know what? It's for the long turn
Yeah,
of the
but
company.
still, man, like if he knows if he's come in and he's just like, look, this is not a good movie.
Right.
Like, like you said, I feel bad for the actors and the people that
Oh, I
worked
do
on the
too.
film and
I
all
feel
that.
horrible.
But like at the same time, it's like, okay, that didn't work.
Yeah, it's
We
like
need to make
Zaslav was
stuff
like, yeah,
that is going to work,
right. It was like, yeah,
you
you
know?
you made this under the old Warner Brothers leadership. This is Zaslav's leadership now, and it's
But
under
that's the
his
thing.
control.
Okay, so maybe that movie is crap, but maybe he's like, okay, we're not ready right now with this.
Right.
maybe we do this later. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And maybe we don't. I don't know. But at the same
Yeah,
time, you know, getting back to everything, like kind of encompassing everything, we're very excited about this. I
super
think
excited.
I think this is an amazing move for them. I can't wait to see like what's going to happen in the future, and like what we have to look forward to because like we said, I think James Gunn can, he put Polka Dot Man and made him cool. What can he do with some of these DC characters, these other DC characters that nobody's really thought of because everybody just knows Marvel now?
Right.
That what can he what really cool that we're just like, holy crap, that's out there. Like that's something. You know what I mean? What can he grab and just be like,
Here it
this is
is.
about to shove in your face. This is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not to mention, he can do it and make it like, we can actually have a superhero movie that is rated R. That's not Deadpool. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
And that's
look
another
at
thing.
Peacemaker. It's amazing
And
because it's
that's
just like
yeah, and
he can
that's
do
another
whatever he
thing I,
wants.
I wanted to mention too is and they didn't really say here. And you know what? We'll go ahead and read this article or read this paragraph, and then I'll say what I'm trying to say because it'll make more sense. Unlike Marvel Studios, DC has multiple films set in separate creative universes, and according to sources, Joker filmmaker Todd Phillips' work on the upcoming sequel, which goes in production later this year, will not fall under Gunn and Safran's purview, and instead will be overseen by DeLuca and Abdi. Matt Reeves, who worked on under Hamada, has a budding universe based on the Batman movie. It is unclear under who purview Reeves's future projects would fall, but everything else is moving forward. Would be under Gunn and Safran's. And one thing that I wanted to bring up is, that no one's really talking about is because of this article, and who knows, they can come out tomorrow and totally change what I'm about to say, but this is just speculation right now. Is nothing said in here that everything from here forward was going to be connective tissue. Not
Hmm.
it's not like they're about to bring. I mean, they did bring in Aquaman and Flash and Peacemaker, which I thought was hilarious. Um, but it's not like and like I said, who knows? Tomorrow they could be like, "Oh, James Gunn is developing his own cinematic universe." It never said that,
Yeah.
and this gives them a chance to stand apart from and you know what? If they want to do shared universe, that's fine. No worries.
Yeah, but I think
But
it's smart that they don't.
I think they can have both and why not?
No, but that's what I'm
Oh, is that what
saying.
you're
I
saying?
think
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
like, but if they
yeah,
don't, you know what I'm saying, and they're like, okay, well, we're not going to do universes. We're like,
right.
this is in a totally different world as this and that. You know what I mean? Like,
And
and
the
then
audience is smart. They're gonna understand. Like if you say Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, they're gonna know exactly that that's not in universe with Matt Reeves as the Batman.
right,
Audiences are smarter than they think. Now I get it. You don't want to confuse your audience either. I'm not saying you have to do, but I think if anyone can do it, James Gunn and Peter Safran can do it under the direct
mhm.
leadership of David Zaslav. I think, and because of that, that does make him stand out from Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios.
I don't think they're going to do that anyway. I mean, we've already got like you already brought in another Joker in the Batman, the new one with
Right. Oh,
like they brought in.
Barry Keegan,
Yes.
Cogan. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
They've already brought that in. So like like I was like, okay, cool. Like
Different Joker.
and
Cool.
Joaquin is that's an origin story of somebody's mind and it's gonna,
It's a
like it is what
complete
it is.
separate. Yeah.
Complete separate
And
thing. And it was a great movie. And then you
right.
got the second one that I'm kind of weary about, but I get it because I think like, they're talking about, it being a musical type thing, but I was like a musical, and then they were like, no, what I think they're trying to do is Lady Gaga's Harley
Right.
Quinn, it's in her mind,
Right.
and her mind is full of these whimsical like things. Anyway, that's on a totally different thing. But like
No,
I
but
was skeptical of it, but
right.
it's in a different universe, and I know that. And I'm like,
Right.
all right, sweet. Like whatever, it ain't in that
Well,
Batman.
I
Whatever.
see what you're saying, and maybe yeah, it is easier for people more in film circles, obviously, like you and me, and in the fandom circles, and our finger on the pulse as far as that goes. But at the same time, it could be a
We got a
simple.
minute before it crashed.
Oh, we did.
Hmm.
It did crash. Oh, Sorry.
We've got a minute before it crashed.
Oh.
26 minutes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, so just real quick, but no, it goes to show you that, maybe it could be as simple, and maybe not. Maybe not. This is complete, utter speculation. Maybe it could be as simple as branding a certain way. Hey, this is DC's, they already have a black label in the comics. Why don't they say, okay, this is, this movie's this label. Let's just call it black label. This is a DC black label movie, like Joker, like the Harley Quinn Joker sequel, coming. That's a black label film. This is a DC Studios DC Universe film, Superman with Henry Cavill. So I mean, maybe they could rebrand it that way. But I think this is great. I really do. I really think that this is a great move. I think you and I are in agreement. So this is amazing. I can't wait to see. And this takes effect November 1st. So
November 1st.
pretty incredible stuff. So Wes, before we sign off, man, what are some of your final thoughts, and tell everybody where they can find you.
Man, very, very excited about this. Glad to be back, guys. Thank you so much for watching the channel. But man, I'm so stoked to see where this goes, and can't wait to really, really see how the direction goes, come November 1st, and see what things are gonna, which lane it's gonna go in. So, but you guys can find me on Wes Rathbone or whatever it is, at Wes Rathbone 86 on Twitter, man. Whatever the hell it is, I don't know. Just come find me over there. And I'm glad to be back, guys. So thank you. So, Gabe, tell them where they can find you, my friend, and let's wrap this thing up.
All right, buddy. So you can find me simply at Voice of Film, TikTok, and Twitter. I know I haven't posted on TikTok in quite a while. Like we said, we had a lot going on. Family comes first. Take care of your family. Take care of yourself. Again, you can find me there. Going to be having a lot of TikToks coming out soon. Just be watching for that. But I'm always on Twitter. Come say hello. And we have been the usual skeptics. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you for indulging us in our long hiatus. We apologize. We're going to be coming out with some videos. Got a lot planned for you guys. Can't wait for y'all to see what we have in store. Thank you for being part of this. But tell us, what do you think? That's the most important thing. Tell us what you think about this news. Are you a fan of this news? Do you think a duo is better off than one person? Do you think one person would have been better? What do you think about James Gunn and Peter Safran? Drop your comments and drop your thoughts in the comments below. It's been a while. I'm Rusty.
Follow, share, follow, do all that.
All that stuff. Thank you guys so much. And we will see y'all in the next video.